I'm sat in the churchyard in Chesley Street, and in front of me there is loads of flowers where people have left them for obviously people who have passed, and so I'll not show you them because out of respect. But there was like a bee or something like that trying to get into the flower, and it obviously left because the flower's plastic. So it's funny, isn't it? And I was just thinking about life, and I know it sounds very corny, but when you look for the things that seem to be wonderful, like fame, money, wealth, and all the sort of things that that you see on TV now these days, everything on social media, body image, all sorts of things. And when it comes down to it, when people attain these things, when people get it, it's basically the bee with the plastic flower. You go into it and it's just completely useless. Doesn't help at all. It's non-functional, and it's just a bit like the things that we try and help ourselves to be happy. People, again, the social media sort of generation of trying to seek affirmation and get feedback from people. You just you see all these people who have what we people would say the perfect body or the perfect face, or they've gone into all sorts of different things where they've had things done to make themselves in their view look better. But when it comes down to it, you still don't really address the problem of why you're unhappy in the first place. And it's just so strange because especially in this world now, where everything's instant, everything is, I can see it now, everything is about photos, holidays, what we look like. And I've said this to my friends a million times over the last, God knows, 10 years and 20 years. And I just think, thank God that I didn't grow up in the internet generation. Whereas when I was a teenager, we didn't have anything like that. We had, you had your camera and you took a week for the pictures to be developed. And you certainly didn't have things like video cameras, because that's only people had that who they were rich people who were, really, really had a lot of money. And I'm glad I didn't grow up in that generation of, posting things and trying to look like this. And obviously we had the fashion stuff. I mean, obviously I was never, ever, and people who know me from the 80s, and I'm still not now, I've never been bothered about what I look like, as in, clothes that I wear and all that shit. I mean, never. I always remember a friend in the early 90s, he bought this, I can't remember where it was from, it was a shirt that was he bought it in Durham, and this is like 30 years ago, and it was something like 80 or 90 pound. And I'm like, why you, what, who are you buying this for? What is the reason behind this? Yes, we can all buy nice things, we can have nice things, but this sort of like fashion item where he'd spent, and he was only like really young. I mean, I was only 21, 22 back then. And I thought, what was, and I think he probably wore it once, and that was it. And you think, well, why waste all that money on these sort of things? It's just completely, inconsequential, materialistic, and just really quite dull. You know what I mean? It's just. So I'm glad I didn't grow up with this sort of like, Instagram generation and instant approval and stuff like that, and wanting to look good. I mean, I've spoken to so many people over the last few years who absolutely point blank refuse to take pictures of themselves, videos of themselves, or anything. And it's like, I mean, I know that I'm not the most attractive looking person, but it's me. I'm not going to change my face. I'm not going to change what I look like, as in get plastic surgery or Botox. It's just like that's me. And fortunately, when the camera points at me and I look. That's why I can talk on camera, because it doesn't bother me at all. It's like, if everybody else is going to look at it, so why don't I look at it as well, you know? But yeah, I think I'm making progress. I think I am. I think I'm realizing what is special and what isn't. Like the plastic flower, the poor bee comes along and says, oh, this looks great. And then when you actually go into it and look at it, you realize it's completely shit. It's completely useless. And there's no reason for you to be wandering around thinking, well, the plastic flower might change. No. So, yeah. It's going to be a bit weird over the next couple of days, isn't it? Sunday, and then obviously bank holiday. So, and I was saying, obviously, previous in the Instagram video before, is that it would be a good idea if people would just talk to each other. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about other people. If you've got somebody you haven't spoken to for ages or months, just even ask them how they're doing, you know what I mean? It could help. It could help a lot of people. And only if you want to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it'd be nice that, you know, in this sort of, when you've got time, if you are off work, or if you've got a job, if you haven't got a job, whatever it is, just to connect with some people again. I think that would be really helpful. Yeah. I might give an update later. I don't know. I'm trying to find a film that's not absolute shit. The past few nights, oh God, some of these films have been absolutely awful. Yeah. I think I'm making progress. I think I am.